What's up, peoples? Welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking on me. I have something really fun for us to do today. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and roll that intro. Hello and welcome to another edition of Cooking with Chef James. Today I have prepared a fantastic recipe for us to follow, just in time for that crawfish season. Now, I don't know about you, but whenever I have a crawfish boil, I tend to have a little bit of leftovers. So, in this episode, we're going to be making a delicious crawfish chowder that you can make with all of the leftovers from your crawfish boil. So let's go ahead and see the ingredients that we're going to be using in this recipe. Taking in mind that you do not have to use all of these ingredients, I do tend to like this chowder spicy. The ingredients for this recipe are butter, flour, cream, 2 halves of a small white onion, black pepper, salt, parsley, milk, and of course, your crawfish and the potatoes and the corn that you used for your crawfish boil. And to add a little bit of spice, I'm going to be adding a little of Slap Your Mama. It is a Cajun seasoning that is very delicious. It gives it a little spice with a lot of really good seasoning. Very good. Highly recommended. And of course, for cutting the onion, you will need a knife. So first, what you're going to want to start off is you're going to take about 1/3 of your butter. You're going to unwrap it. No one wants to eat wrapper. Place it in your pan. Turn it on to about medium high. And you're just going to want this to melt all the way completely. There, now that your butter is all nice and melted, you can go ahead and get your flour, and you're just going to add the flour straight into the butter. The consistency that you want to get from this is like a wet sand consistency. Now that you have it at the wet sand consistency, which looks like this, you're just going to let that cook a little bit. Turn it down just to like a little bit over medium, and you're just going to want to cook it for about 1.5 minutes. Just until you can smell kind of the nuttiness that comes from the butter and the flour. Alright, now that it's been cooking and it's kind of like this light brown color, this is a blonde roux. You're just going to want to set this to the side. Turn this off. Okay, so now that your blonde roux is all nice and done, you're going to want to cut your onions now, and you're going to want to cut them into a small dice, which is about that small. And to get them that small, it just takes a couple little steps. You're just going to want to cut it like this. About 2 or 3 times. Then you're going to want to cut it down the onion this way. And now that you just cut it this way, you're going to want to cut it this way now. Now that your onions are all nice and chopped up to a small dice, you can go ahead and put them back in the pan with the roux. Now that your onions are added into this roux, you're just going to want to cook it for about 1 to 2 minutes, just until the onions begin to start turning transparent. Once you've cooked your onions for about 1 to 2 minutes and they've become a little bit transparent, you can go ahead and add your milk into this. Just add a little bit at a time and then stir it into the roux. When it starts to thicken up, you can go ahead and add more milk. And you want the thickness of this to be a little thinner than a heavy cream consistency. Now you're just going to want to let this cook for about 1 to 2 minutes, just so that it comes up to a very low simmer. Okay, so now that this has been simmering for about 2 to 3 minutes, it's become a nice creamy consistency. Basically what you're looking for in this consistency is for it just to coat the back of the spoon. When you wipe your finger, nothing drips down. Now you still don't want to season the chowder quite yet because you have not added your crawfish, potatoes, and corn. However, now that this has been cooking for about 2 to 3 minutes and it's at this consistency, we can go ahead and add those. After you've added your crawfish and potatoes and corn, you're just going to want to let that come up to temperature and come to a very low simmer. Now that the chowder has come to a very low simmer, you're gonna wanna go ahead and taste it before you start adding seasoning, just so you know how much you're gonna need. Alright, now we can start adding seasoning, and you don't really have to go crazy with the seasoning, just enough to give it a little heat, a little Cajun flair, and some nice seasoning. But like I said, you really don't have to go crazy with this seasoning. Sorry about that, must have gotten a little carried away there. Now that your chowder is all nice and seasoned, I'm gonna go ahead and give it one more last taste. Perfect. Alrighty, and your chowder is completely done, so you can go ahead and grab yourself a bowl, get about a ladle and a half. Top it off with a little parsley. And go ahead and enjoy. Thank y'all again for watching Cooking with Chef James. I hope y'all like this recipe, and I can't wait to see y'all in the next episode. Alrighty guys, thank y'all for watching my video. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all in the next one.